Hello, women of the Boss Babe community. Welcome in to this podcast with your friend, Erica Kane. And tonight we are here to just speak about you, your personal branding, you being yourself, and allowing a flow of multiple benefits to flow in abundance to every side hustle that you can possibly turn anything into, and how doing something that you truly enjoy can skyrocket and snowball your whole life into the success story that you never knew that you needed. So if that sounds interesting to deep dive with me, keep on watching. If not, there are so many other videos that I think will be resonating with you, so I hope you find one below. Thanks. All right, girlfriends, I'm here to give you an example of what I like to call the triple-double. And I'm going to tell you a story about a girl who was at her home every day. And she needed the solitude and she needed the space to be in her home, but still be able to self-care, probably even to a greater degree than those who are out and about living their best life in and out of salons, etc., spa days, etc. This girl fell in love with organic, natured pampering and clean water and learning every ingredient with herbs, with bases, with different oils, being taught from 3 different companies of all great natural things. And this girl was on a mission to learn self-love via self-care. And one day she heard a podcast by Teal Swan that greatly affected her view on what kind of identity she was swirling around with. Sometimes those days that just keep running on end, where you are sudsing up the dishes but have never actually had proper time to suds up yourself, is patriarchal, sacrificial enslavement that seeks to destroy the woman's body via their vitality, via their soul, via their purpose. And this is just continuing and continuing. And now it's not gonna motherfucking continue. And these are heavy topics for most who are turned off from the need to advocate for self-care, and none the wiser. Well, how blessed a life of that, right? Maybe not so. However, those who are really called to feel and those who are really called to self-care already know. There's a girl sitting there, striving and wanting the best for herself, and such a dysregulated nervous system from everything that has happened, and self-care practices in the quiet where no one knew and no one ever messaged and there was nothing really going on. And learning to care for yourself, learning to use products that nurture your soul, your vibe, your aura, using crystals, learning about herbal medication type, like replacement stuff, and definitely trying to encourage other people because it feels very freeing. It feels better. It just feels better when you're doing nicer self-care for yourself. And I think that so many women think they're like not worth any of it. And it sucks so bad because I know that. And I say, you know what? Even if you really think that you're not worth it, you really just should anyway. You deserve to slow down. You deserve to take a rest. You deserve to relax into your own being and nurture your skin, nurture your cells, nurture your mind, body, and spirit. You know, this is everything that needs to be happening for an hour a day at least. And if you're really new to this, sometimes you need to take full days, full weekends, full months, and full years. And really, it should be a regular practice throughout your entire life to always uphold yourself at allowing the enjoyment of moments in life, that it is not always about your responsibility that you must attend to with such urgency constantly, right? This can completely dysregulate your field. So, regulating your nervous system and organic care is top-notch quality for, you know, getting to know your own self, your own body, your own soul, and having to do this repair work for the trauma that was caused to you from other people's madness and insanity and cruelty, you know, and you just say, well, this is a divine responsibility to repair this vessel piece by piece, year by year, no matter how long that it takes. We know that we prevail through unconditional love always. So allow the self-care journey to be a very comfy and cozy cocoon for you when you are learning your self-worth. And so moving along to number 2, a brand that you love all that stuff from. MLM, affiliations, ambassadorships, you know, any other word that you want to put in there. And really dive into and merge your interest with their interest. Find out everything. Find out what's your standards of organic. You know, make sure that they're not robbing monkeys of oil just to produce your soap, because that's pretty fucked up. Like, you have to actually do some research, and that I speak about this stuff, of course, on my channels about ingredients. You must get to know the ingredients, what they do, you know, their vibration, their frequency, all of this paired with scent can be highly grounding, highly healing when used properly. And each base and scent does something nurturing to your body. So you want to get in this habit of always nurturing your body. And along with that comes opening to greater positivity and even sharing with people. So if you're involved with a company who's avidly selling stuff that you love and you can kind of piggyback onto them, enjoy using this stuff so much, and then be able to talk about it, be able to use your passion for photography and aesthetic to take pictures of said product, being able to have that outlet in your mind when you want to think about something that you can be successful at, when you want to think about something that could have the potential and is very successful for a lot of women. And why not just have fun with that? So I really love doing that. And that should go for any company that you're with. You should love it. And if you don't, do not go in it at all. If you find out something you don't like, you can leave. You know, you have freedom. You are the brand. That's the number one thing. It's you. So this is all tied into your personality. Find company that's selling that you can sell for doing this stuff, right? Whatever it is that you may like. If you're selling for like a seedling company, you're gonna be out there, you know, planting seeds in your yard. I do that too. I wish I could partner with a seedling company or a native plant company. That would be fucking cool shit too. That could be like the quadruple sextuplet type, you know, like just multiplying businesses, right? Like right now, we're just thinking about one thing can be three things, right? Two things could be six things. So that's what I'm saying here. One thing you like. For this girl, it was, let's just say, soaking feet in the little foot tub there, relaxing, you know, healing feminine energy. And there you go. She can join the company that she really loves to use and loves their products. So it's a win-win, right? Already. Now the third thing is the men. That's a whole market in itself. And they're gonna fetishize feet stuff, pretty feet, you know. I love having a nice pedicure. I love oiling up my feet. I love soaking in the salts. I love all of that care, you know. So I absolutely love to be splashing around, toes in the tub, and just having a good time, freeing my mind, freeing my body, you know. And so I feel like men who appreciate that kind of energy and like grounding purification from a feminine, you know, like foot fetish they call, you know, that's in there too. So it's like I can show the video to females and be like, this is so relaxing, this feels so good, ladies, you would love this product, right? And then just talk about the name of your company and et cetera, right? And then there you go, a whole nother market that is on fire right now, first of all, totally. And you never have to even show your face. It's very low key if you want it to be anonymous. And so that's also a super enjoyable aspect. So now I'm thinking about the quadruple flip deal here, because I just heard about somebody selling their bath water and like multi-marketing that she's soaked in, some tubs or something. And so every bit of soap, a limited edition, actually had like, a teaspoon of her bath water in the making. So I was thinking, wow, is this marketable as well? You guys just always have to keep expanding and expanding, but only when it's something you're already doing and something you already love. That is the key. It's got to be something that you love. Is that paints? Is that a certain brand of canvases? I don't know, like so many things to be into. Some people sell crystals and tarot cards. Some people sell, different tomatoes they've grown in their front yard. This could be absolutely anything. And any company, there's always going to be multiple reasons for anything. So that's my after dark idea. Because that's always a really nice feeling when, oh, chime, chime, here goes some more golden coins. So-and-so purchases a 30-second video clip of you with your feet splashing in a tubby for $7.77, like there's definitely ways to bring in extra blessings, extra abundance, extra cash flow from doing what you would just naturally do. And I think that's the key to being a reality celebrity. They're just doing what they would do, and they're cool and they have fun. And that's why I feel like when I was running around being that, like, what a fun fucking show that would have been, And now I'm like, wow, I'm really doing some intense yoga training. Like, this could also be something. So right now I'm just, the business boss, like the sprinkle business boss here, Of course I want to expand to podcasts. But, I've always just made this for anyone who follows me for any reason, because I do mentor people. And that's like the main thing I've always wanted to do through any business. Like, being in businesses and starting businesses is really the pathway of like mentoring and helping people. So at the core reason, that could come through any way. So as much as I'm not attached to certain businesses and stuff, and it's like, when something doesn't work for me, I am never afraid to just go ahead and just get the fuck out or stand up for myself or whatever it has to be. So, you also have to be pretty much ruthless within yourself also to advocate for yourself always, no matter what you're doing. So sprinkle more knowledge, right? I do not want to take that lady's catchphrase. It's just that it's always in my head. So I'm going to have to think of my own catchphrase. That's another thing. You got to you can spread the knowledge too, and you should. Like, I always say when I work with people, I love to get them such a great foundation and plan and homework. Like, there's a course of action anytime I'm with a client, and then reporting back, no matter how long that needs to be. And of course, deep work, self care, integration, etc. However, always look at the dates, This is Evolution of Boss Babe Talking Trainings, Erica Kane, 1111. I am here to mentor people, and that's why I'm always talking about making sure that everybody knows I'm available if they need them. I love to see the messages pop up, regardless if I'm like in the middle of something else or whatever else. Like, it's always welcome. I love getting emails. I love getting Facebook messages. I have group chats. If you're in a company that you love, start a group chat. Start telling people in a group chat, it's fun. It's like, oh, hey, place an order. You're going to fucking love this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, when you get the experience of loving using it, you win either way, because it's like, you're expressing yourself. You get to use creativity. You get to use something that you're doing to relax and heal yourself in a double way. And then there's always that triple way too. So I hope this lesson is an invitation for you to expand your comfort zone, expand your edges, expand what you think you might do, or what you would envision yourself doing. Because if you're going to have a thriving brand of your own self-being, people want to associate, identifiable traits that you're offering. So that's why I'm always rooted in trust. I'm always rooted in, if I say something, I mean it. It's going to happen. Keeping promises to myself. Keeping promises if I speak it. Clean intake. Because we can't really help what's happened to us already. But once we know, we can say, hey, you know what? I'm going to work at clean intake and not put as much as possible. If there's a possible way that I can just not be putting toxins in my body in this earth, I'm going to take that route. So that meant using stuff that isn't hurting you. And I say that for any company that you would even think of. And that's why I'm speaking of it. Any company. If they're doing anything toxic, you need to just stay the hell out. Get others out. Speak up and stand up against it, Like, this is why the entrepreneurial calling will have you in more wisdom and more knowledge about your own self. So, of course, a side note, homework, do some journaling. It's not always fun to have to actually use a slower method, because I know, especially on this healing journey, we are so wired. Our nervous system is so chaotically wired that the stimulation and the constant stimulation would feel normal. However, when we really want to be active in rewiring it, you almost have to just slow down to where it's almost like comically that you're trying to be like silly funny, to slow down. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we can get our nervous system to relax more and allow the care, allow the ideas, you know, allow the knowledge, allow you to release what no longer resonates with you. Because, of course, when we don't know, we don't fucking know better. But when you find the fuck out, okay, now it's on. You have to do better. So I think literally the very first thing I ever did to just get better was the new soaps and lotions, because that was something I could control that wasn't such a habit, like with food and everything. I mean, I'm 6 years vegan now. But like going off of that food was, you know, that was a real long process to be healthy about it. But like switching out soaps, come on, that's easy as fuck. Switching out anything simple like that, you know what I'm saying? Like products, that's easy. Working on the body, now that's a commitment. It really is, but you know, it really starts somewhere, feeding it better. And, you know, there may even be a 7-year growth period, possibly a little longer. However, when you stop putting the massive amount of toxins into your system, you're going to be the better off for it. So, time to look around, time to maybe see what's going in your body. And that means ingesting it or using product-wise or breathing in or watching or listening to. You know, be mindful of everything that you take in through whichever way and always. And then it's going to be able to center your being so that you can see and establish more of whatever it is you're calling in and whatever you're representing. So, I hope this video helped. Thank you for following along.